Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Perisno 0.5. Now, when we left off, we had just arrived in the Redwood Nation at Fornayan, and we were continuously looking for Alden, of course. But, having read many of your comments and a couple of your private messages as well, thank you very much for all of those, I have now ascertained that we are able to disable the companion complaints. I had no idea that this option was here, but thank you very much nevertheless for letting me know about it, and I have now disabled the companion complaints. Maybe I will re-enable it at some later point, maybe if we make our own faction, no idea yet, because of course it is still early on. But yes, if our companions become our vassals, then we don't have to deal with their relations anymore, and maybe then we can start to use it, but I suppose that is a little bit late in the game to start using it, so maybe not. But anyway, I have arrived back here in Elsinore, as I believe it would be a rather good idea to get Syl here, and hopefully she will join us. So we do have quite a bit of cash after all, so I think we may as well, you know? We may as well get some really good companions, and hopefully she will prove her worth in upcoming battles. Now, many of you have stated also, on another note, that Suno, technically, in the Loan Shark quest, is actually Leuven, so we will be going there in just a moment. But first, I do want to check out Syl's gear, and her stats, of course. At the moment, she does seem to be rather oriented around using a bow, and I do not blame her. As you can see, her bow is actually quite powerful, and oh my, her blade is actually very powerful as well, so I don't really blame her if she's going to be any type of unit, really, apart from a cavalry, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure how much riding she has, but what I've also done is switched around my gear a little bit. Now, I have stopped using my Morning Star, mainly because quite a few of you wanted me to use a lance, or a polearm, and or a crossbow. So I thought to myself, well, why don't we either use a polearm in an entire battle, or either use a crossbow in an entire battle? Now, the only problem with that, of course, is the fact that if I get off my horse to use my crossbow, I can only use the crossbow. Whereas, if I stay on my horse, I can only use the lance. So, yes, that's a little bit of a pickle right there. So what I may actually do is switch out the lance for now. I know that's a very controversial move, isn't it? Yes, because the lance is actually very powerful indeed and helps us out quite a bit. But I think for now we will be keeping it in our inventory, and maybe at a later point if we come across a very difficult enemy, then we will be re-equipping it, of course. That is if I remember to do so. But anyway, as I was saying, we are going to have a look at her stats, and as you can see here, oh my goodness, she has 7 in power draw. That is incredible. Very nice indeed. She actually has 6 in riding skill, which I was not imagining she would have. Wow. I think we definitely need to get her a horse. So I suppose I will give her this, even though it is not exactly the greatest thing ever. But I thought, well, she may as well have something. Now, what many of you stated as well is that Shijin had actually changed his gear around, and I did actually notice that that was the case. I have cleaned up my inventory a little bit, and I've given him back his strange greatsword and other strange gear there, and also a cracked Nordic shield just for a little bit of defense, I suppose. That would probably help him out quite a bit. And I think his other gear is actually pretty good, so I don't think we really need to worry about him too much. So, Syl will be moving up here, and I think I will probably change her to be a cavalry. So she can charge in there, use her bow, use her two-handed sword. I don't really mind which, as it is, well, they're both powerful, aren't they? So don't really have to worry about that too much. Now, what I would like to do is, why is this guy following me? That is very strange. Look at this. He has 51 prisoners and only 9 units. That is very strange. Well, if the AI has a death wish, I will not stop them, because it is always nice to take prisoners, I suppose. I am not entirely sure what is going on there. As you can see, they do only have 9. Huh. Very strange indeed. Okay, well, we are going to be heading on to Leuven after this very small skirmish, and we'll see how we do, I suppose. And I just hope that I'll be able to do that debtor's quest. That loan shark, yes. Very shady character indeed. And, ooh, we actually have some rather nice units. Now that I actually look at them from behind here, I know that's not exactly where you want to be looking at them from, but now that I see the entire grand scope of our army, I do notice that we are actually in very good shape right here. So I'm actually thinking, after we have headed into Leuven and hopefully completed that quest successfully, as our Machiavellian heavy crossbowmen are completely devastating the enemy's forces, it would be very nice if we would be able to take on some Tauranian vassals so that we can actually gain some of those King's Guard units, which many of you actually said I sold to a tavern keeper or ransom broker in a previous episode. So I do apologize for that, but I don't think I really realized that there were actually the units that we needed for the quest there. So yeah, I suppose from my absolutely convoluted sentence structure right there, we will be, hopefully, attaining those units in some future bouts, and I'm not entirely sure, but why am I keeping my archers and all of my forces back? I should really just charge them all in, why not? Because we do outnumber these fellows, and I do have a crossbow to use, so let's hope that we can actually use it effectively. Oh, okay, so these guys have shields, so this is not going to work, is it? Yes. Okay, come on, let's do it. Oh, wow, okay, never mind. Seems my crossbowmen are completely devastating their HP, and wow. This Perisno cleric, everyone. This Perisno cleric is the Rambo of this episode. He just double killed two, well, let's just say Roman soldiers, I suppose. And actually, one of you asked where I got the Roman soldiers. Now, they were actually part of, I believe, a demon party as prisoners, and I rescued them and of course was able to recruit them. So there we are, that is how I attained them. Thankfully, they're actually very powerful. They seem to be, at least. Not against Perisno clerics, though, for some reason. These guys actually got taken out very quickly indeed by that one guy. So yes, he has the honors of being the Rambo in this episode. So yes, okay, now it is just a difficult decision ahead of us here. Choosing which unit we actually want to keep. I will be looking through every single one and making sure that we actually get a good unit. So far, I believe this one is probably going to be the best, as you can see by its weekly wage. Usually the weekly wage doesn't really have that much effect on whether a unit is amazing, but I found with the faction-specific units, as this is actually one, a Machiavellian mounted marksman. I think mainly because it's not a mercenary unit, 76 dinars is actually very expensive, so we are going to be taking that, and I think that's probably all we can take, unfortunately. I really do like the composition of my army at the moment, so I think we will be leaving it at that. Now, that is it, I suppose. They actually gave us no loot whatsoever. Okay, well, that is fine, unless I totally blacked out and I had no idea that we actually looted something? I don't think so. Huh. Okay. Well, I suppose considering it is a small party, we are not too surprised by that, although I was. Yes. Okay, so... ooh. This is actually something we might want to take part in, as you can see here. Now, this is the only problem I am finding at the moment. I don't have enough party space. So, let's just have a look at my character for a real quick second right here. Okay, so, yeah, this is going to be a little difficult because I would really love to get Charisma to 12 so that we can get foreign leadership, but that does not seem to be the case at the moment. Well, I suppose it is progress, so every time we level up, that might actually be a good idea to do so, to level up our Charisma on the way there to foreign leadership. That would be amazing. Now, I've just realized something. We can't actually do this quest because we are at war with the Tauranians. So, yeah, that's probably not going to happen at the moment. So instead, we will be heading over to Rullans and forcing the peasants to give us things. So, before we actually do that, I am going to have a look and... okay. That's rather nice, isn't it? Yes, that is rather nice. Okay, we will be attempting to force them to give that to us. Now, let us just hope that we do not get beset upon by any Tauranian king or queen, shall we say, because I believe their parties would be a little too powerful for us to actually handle at the moment. So, oh, wow, that was actually exceedingly quick. And as you can see, we have been awarded the fine gold. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Now, one of you did actually say that you can do tasks for the village elder, which is probably not a good idea at the moment to do because, you know, you're at war with these fellows, but if we went to Tal Burl, for instance, which might actually be a good idea, we could try it out, and it might actually be an interesting experiment, perhaps, although I'm pretty sure you are correct about it. Oh. Oh my. So, these, I believe, are the fellows that have a relation with the priests at Macan, or at least the ones that we actually spoke to, the new gods and the old gods. Now, I believe these fellows are from the old gods because I did not pledge any money to their priest, so they are going to be following us to the ends of the earth, I suppose, and attempting to, well, destroy our livelihood, I suppose. So yes, that's probably not going to be a very nice thing at all, although we are faster than them, so I am very happy about that, of course. Now, I'm actually just wondering, are we able to take these guys on? Something tells me no, so I will be heading into Tal Burl and meeting the village elder. Do you have any tasks? Ah, you need grain. Okay, 6 packs of grain. It's actually quite a bit. Well, yeah, I will attempt to do so. Now, do I actually have the grain? No. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, how much do they actually have here? Oh, they have a map of Drahara. That might actually be very useful. So, if we can do this task, one of you stated that instead of refusing the gift that they give us, I believe, then taking it, they might actually give us what we require, as in the map of Drahara. So, yes, that might be quite good to do so. So, seeing as we're actually near Macan, I think it might actually be a good idea to head over there, because, oh my goodness, even Lord Logerson is running from these fellows right here, the Divine Aethelings. Ooh, that tells me something absolutely dreaded is within those parties. Oh no. Okay, well, seeing as we are at the tavern anyway in Macan, we may as well take a look, and Marcus is here, so I think with our newfound tip that you can actually press P when you're in a scene, you can actually change your party from here, so thank you very much for that as well. I can't believe I had no idea about many of these shortcuts beforehand, but yes, nevertheless, that is great. And, ooh, we almost have a Perisno Holy Priest. I think that's probably going to be very nice to see. And there we are, we will lose one Machiavian footman and talk to Marcus. Yes, I'll have a talk with them. Here's 8,000. Was that 8,000 before, or was it 6,000? Really? Oh no, well, why not? We may as well spend money to make money. That is the saying after all, so let's do it. Yeah, we may as well get him. And as soon as I go upstairs, there is probably going to be... Nope, okay. I was thinking there might be another companion, but no such luck. And... okay, so let's speak to the guy from the old gods. I believe in your gods. Okay. Let's just get them to neutral, I think. I will donate 800. Yes. Okay. There we are. Okay, so I think these guys are basically just for if you want to battle their units that are outside at the moment. I think so, at least. I mean, you can always insult them, and that would obviously decrease the relation with them. So maybe that is an idea. Now, we are going to be speaking to the Queen, as one of you stated that what I could potentially do is court her. Now, that would be actually very interesting to court a queen. That has been something that we've never done before. Oh, I still have need of your companion. Okay, well, she has no relation with us just yet, so I will not ask her about the cementing relation particular option at the moment, but maybe at a later point I will. So, I think now, considering we can't actually do anything else, I will be attempting to find some grain, specifically at the towns of Machavia, and once I have found 6 bags, I will meet you back at Tal Burl. Okay, so here we are, we have arrived back in Macan, and there is a very good reason for that, as Agathor Krex is actually holding a feast here, so I thought it might be a good idea, and an opportunity to hopefully gain some relation with the Knights of the Realm, and yes, that might actually provide us some support for our entry as a vassal of the Machavians. So, as you can see here, I have actually leveled up a couple of our units, mainly due to Marcus's trainer, I believe, because if we actually take a look at his skills, which we didn't do before, he does have 3 in trainer, so that is helping us out quite a bit. He is an absolute beast, by the way. As you can see, he has 70 HP and absolutely insane weapon proficiency, so I'm very happy with him, and I should be, I suppose, for 8,000. But yes, there we are. He is using Guardian White Armor and some incredibly good weapons as well. Huh. I suppose that would be what my Morning Star would be like if I actually had a perfect condition one. But yes, as you can see here, we do actually have the grain. I went to Galway and it just so happened to have, I believe, 8 bags of grain. Or, yeah, probably even more than that in the marketplace there. So that was absolutely insane. And of course, we still have our fine gold, so we can always sell that if we need to. So we will be just leveling up Faziel, as I say that. And has he stolen someone's armor? I think he might have stolen Shijin's armor. Is that true? I don't know. We will see after this. Oh no, that would be terrible if he did. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just level up his... I don't think riding, because he's not really going to ride a horse, I don't think. Maybe Weapon Master? Maybe Shield, maybe Athletics? I don't think he really needs Athletics as much. I think Weapon Master, just to increase his crossbow skill, because he really needs to be deadly from far away, and he's actually using the same gear. Are you serious? Did he really steal Shijin's gear? No, because he actually has the same... What? What is going on here? It appears the gear has been cloned in some fashion. Wow, that's actually really nice. If that is a bug, then I am very happy with that. Leave that in the game, yes. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, well, never mind. We will be hopefully heading into the feast. Yes, as you can see here, we can join the feast, and I suppose we will just speak to Queen Trisna, because she is the only one we really want to get relation with, for now at least. And maybe she can... No, okay, never mind. What about... what would it take? Aha! Are you proposing that you and I marry? Yes, that is my proposal. My lord, you are a man of great spirit and bravery, possessed of strength, courage, and wit. I shall give your proposal consideration. Oh, that's very nice. With one relation with her, yeah. That's record-breaking, I think. Well, that's nice. Okay, that's great. Let's speak to Lord Fairn, then, and see what he has to say. He's -2 with us. That's not too good. Let's take a quest, perhaps. Okay, so we need to go to Galway, which I actually was just at. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I suppose to get his relations up, we may as well. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether we want to speak to any of these other ladies, because I do not want to offend the Queen, as it is. So, yes, I think we'll be leaving it at that. That is great, and we will be heading to Tarbell to deliver the grain, of course. So let's just head over there, and maybe then we will be able to take on one of these very large outlaw mercenary parties. Now, these guys will not attack us, I don't believe, anymore, so let's just hope that that is the case. It seems as though that is, so that's great. Let's meet with the village elder, and there we are. I brought you 6 bags of grain. And wow, that's actually enough experience to advance us to level 13. So at that point, we'll definitely be going in charisma, I think, because we sorely need the army space. So that would be wonderful. So yes, let's go off and do that just now. Now, as you can see by my money situation, it's actually not going too well, but I'm hoping that that will actually rectify itself, because I've just increased my prisoner management a little more as well. Now let's actually just take a look at this. Every level of this skill increases the prisoner to troop ratio by 1 out of 10. Minimum 2 prisoners per skill point. Oh, I see. So does that mean that the more troops I have, the more prisoners I can take? I hope that is the case. Well, let's just see anyway. Okay, so seeing as we are probably going to be using crossbows a little more often, let's increase that. And there we are. That will be that. So yes, I think those guys are going to be way too difficult to take on at the moment, but maybe later we might be able to. So I think what I will do as our final action in this episode is attempt to locate a Tauranian vassal. As I have stated many times in previous episodes, it would be wonderful if we could take one of them prisoner, and even better if we could get some King's Guard units. And speaking of money that we actually need, we can sell Count Merchandus back to the Kingdom of Taurania, and I believe we will be doing that, because 3,000 dinars we may as well, and there is our next target. Oh yes. Now, he's moving at 4.3, I believe we have 5.7, so it's actually unlikely we'll be able to catch him, but let's try. Let's do it, come on. Yes, he's slowed by the trees. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Oh, that was so close. No! How dare you? Okay, well, that is unfortunate, isn't it? Yes, that is terribly unfortunate. He was actually one of the best vassals we've ever seen to be on the same level as us. Look at that. He has 77... Oh, now he has 77 units in his army. Maybe he's actually coming out of Leuven to attack us now. Aha! There he is, and there is Count Calerius, by the looks of things. Maybe we will take him on instead. Let's do it. Oh, he's going in, of course. Why are all of these vassals so... Oh, well. There we are. The quest is cancelled, so I don't really think we need to worry about this any longer. That is just my luck, isn't it? Total luck right there. At least we accepted the business agreement, I suppose, shall we say, with the Kingdom of Taurania, and we gave them back their vassal for 3,000 dinars, which is rather nice. So at least now, what we can do instead, I suppose, is head into Leuven and do the debtor's quest, the loan shark. And I don't actually know where to go here because it has no details whatsoever, so let's just hope that we can find the shady character or whoever it may be. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether it is walking around the streets that will solve this or going into the tavern itself, because these guys all have names now, so yeah, that's not going to work, I don't think. Maybe the tavern will see a few more results. I think this is probably going to be accurate. Perhaps? Oh, there's Slighter. That's actually very good news. Okay, well, instead of actually trying to recruit him right away, we will be selling this fine gold for 2.8. Wow, that is wonderful. And then heading on, I guess, to get him in our party as quickly as possible. Let's just make sure that we have space. Yes, we have one space thanks to my extra charisma point. And that will be wonderful. Yes. Okay. I'm down to my last 15 orums. I need work now. I might be able to use you. I have spied for the Emperor himself. Yes. Okay, 1,500. At least that price has not gone up. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's great. Now, it seems it might actually be the street. Oh. Okay. I don't know. What did I tell you, leave? Didn't I already give you some money? Oh. Is he the debtor? Maybe he's the guy. Oh no, if he's the guy, we've already spoken to him once and he's given us money for no apparent reason, and I wondered what was going on, so maybe that's the fellow, but yes, anyway, I will be cutting away just very quickly to make sure that I am not missing whoever it is in the streets, and if I cannot find anyone, of course, then we will be ending this episode off here, so I will see you very soon. Okay, so it seems as though we are not in luck to find the debtor at this point, but maybe I will check off screen, although I'm not entirely sure what kind of reward I will get from this, so potentially not. But yes, I will continue my search for Aldin, and I will also hopefully get Alendel back as well. So, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.